Each day at Wesley Meadows is a new opportunity to serve older adults and reimagine retirement living. It is the heart of their mission that inspires their team to provide the kind of fun atmosphere and care residents would want for themselves. Experience the warm spirit and faith-based difference of Wesley Meadows. Call 662-429-2070 and schedule your visit today. Hello and welcome to the Real Hernando Podcast, presented to you by Wesley Meadows Retirement Community and SRP Studios. The Real Hernando Podcast was created to highlight the Hernando, Mississippi community by sharing the stories of its business owners and community leaders. We hope these stories help strengthen the fabric of the city that we love so near and dear, the Real Hernando. Please follow us at therealhernando.com for all channels and social media platforms. I am your host, Derek, and today I'm speaking with Michael Ann Dillinger. She is the executive manager at TruAura and the secretary on the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. TruAura creates clean, effective skincare and beauty products with the health and well-being of their customers and the planet in mind. Their products feature probiotic and prebiotic microbiome-friendly, non-toxic formulations that target aging and help restore a healthy balance to your skin microbiome. Take one. That was take one. All right.
Great job.
For more information, go to TruAuraBeauty.com. That's TruAuraBeauty.com.
/ Michael Ann to go to my website.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that, yeah, because it's sort of you work for a business, but then you have your own page, right?
Yes,
so
yes, absolutely.
TruAuraBeauty.com / Michael Ann.
Or I have a domain name, which is my name, michaelanndillinger.com, and it will redirect over to the...
Beautiful.
Yes, either way.
Well, thanks for being here, Michael Ann. It's a pleasure to have you here for your business, but it's also great because, I've somehow landed on the board of directors for the Chamber of Commerce. I still don't understand how that happened.
I think you showed up at 2 or 3 ribbon cuttings and we're like, hey, let's ask that guy.
So it's things have been going so fast that we haven't really had a chance to really sit down and get to know each other. So this is a cool opportunity for that as well. So
absolutely.
I'm glad you're here. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
So are you originally from Hernando?
I've been here over 20 years, so I don't know if that counts me as originally, but I guess not. My children
That's a good amount of time.
We're all raised here. Yeah, we moved here in January of 2000.
Was that before Walmart?
That was before Walmart.
Okay, so you're good.
Matter of fact, my husband used to take the kids four-wheeler riding over there. And there were several places like that. And then as it developed, my children were just crushed because all of their four-wheeler riding places got taken away.
Oh.
I think when we came here, Sonic was where AutoZone is. There was a Pizza Hut, a Pizza Inn, and a McDonald's. And I think that was it as far as chain restaurants go. So all of that's come up since we've been here. So,
yeah, I mean... And then even more, like we got a Whataburger coming and everything.
Absolutely. It's really a different town from when we first moved here. But it's been great.
I've been wanting to be here for a number of years. Finally got here in summer of 21. And instantly I was like, okay, I don't want any more people moving in.
I know.
So now that I'm here,
it's like, right.
I want it to stay.
Best kept secret, you know.
It is awesome down here. It really is. Clearly, everyone knows what I think about Hernando by now, but it's so easy to just fly through on the highway and not really know what's down here. It's really cool. And the amount of small businesses in such a small area is mind-boggling. Mm-hmm. It really is cool. So what was it like for the last 20 years living here for you?
Oh, I mean, I just love... There's so many things to do here without even leaving Hernando. I mean, if you take advantage of all the community events, from the parades to the music festivals on the square and the trunk or treats and, all of the things that the local churches do. There's just so much here for families. And I've really loved, my oldest was 11 months when we moved here. And he's, now about to be 24 and has 2 children. So we've raised all 3 of our boys in Hernando schools, got to know so many people through baseball and PTA and church. And we just love the community feel, and I've really enjoyed getting to know so many of the people here.
It's easy to get to know everyone too, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Everything's approachable.
Absolutely.
So what was, I want to lead up to your position at TruAura, but coming through as you were raising your family and everything, what was your career path? What were you doing?
Okay, so you have no idea what I'm about to tell you, and it's probably going to be shocking, but before I had children, I actually drove a truck with my husband, drove an 18-wheeler in the 1990s.
I would have never guessed that, yeah.
He came to me with what I, in my mind, kind of thought of as the truck driving scheme, and we both wanted me to be home when I had children. We were married back in 1990, so we've been married quite a while, and he knew that over-the-road truck drivers made pretty good money. So we actually did that. He convinced me, so if you'll drive a truck for 5 years and you can be a stay-at-home mom, we'll be able to be debt-free. You won't have to go out and get a job and you can stay at home, because that was always my heart. I know that's not everybody's heart to be at home with their children. Some, choose the career path, and that's fine. But for me, I wanted to be home. So I gave him 5 years on the truck, and we actually drove all over the United States, into Canada, down to the border of Mexico. We did that back from 93 to 98. So when I got ready to be at home, I really wasn't planning to actually get a job. But now this was before internet. I mean, there was internet, but it was before
Nothing
Facebook.
Like now.
Right. We didn't have a home computer. I didn't have a cell phone. And it was kind of boring because, I'd wait for the mail to run and I would read my junk mail. And I just needed something to do and I didn't even care as far as the income goes at first. And I thought, well, if I'm going to have a hobby, I'd rather have a hobby where I have the potential to make money. So I started with another company. I was with them for about 19 years before they closed in 2017. So I started with direct sales in cosmetics back in 1998. And then when that company closed down, this company kind of quickly sprang up from that.
TruAura?
TruAura. Mm-hmm.
TruAura, not Aurora.
Yeah.
TruAura.
Yeah,
Okay.
like your aura of your skin, and it's
yeah.
true because of the products and the ingredients and stuff that we use. So I knew I wanted to be on board with this because I loved the philosophy behind it, and I already had hundreds of customers and consultants, and we all needed a home. So for the most part, I was able to bring them with me to the new company, and I didn't have to go out and find all new customers.
So that's good. You would take some client with you,
Right,
client
absolutely.
base with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It was a lateral move. It wasn't like I had to start all back over with another product. But I just found along the way that I really love direct sales, and there's so many reasons. I have flexibility with my time. I was able to be that PTA mom, and I was able to go to all their things at school. I mean, I kind of made a decision in first grade that I was going to be at home with my children. My mom came and helped with something in our class that day, and she was the only mom that came. Now, I don't know, maybe the teacher just needed one parent, but for whatever reason, she came. And it made me feel so special, and I kind of felt sorry for the other kids because their moms weren't there helping. And I remember where I was sitting first grade, and I remember thinking, when I have children, I'm going to help at their schools. So I was able to do that, and I was able to be that stay-at-home mom. And then when my youngest was in kindergarten, my mother was diagnosed with early onset dementia, and it was very early. She was still in her 50s, not much older than I am now. So then I was able to help take care of her. And that was just a blessing that I was able to do that with my time.
It's a lot of hard work.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm still making it. We actually, so we were able to keep her home as long as possible. But even when she went into assisted living, I was able to pop in and see her every couple of days, check on her. And so that was really nice. And now I am a Mimi, and I have grandchildren. And so if I need to go over and help with the grandkids, or if I just want to go get them, and like we went to Open Gym this morning at Connection, we call it Gym Friday. And so we're usually there every Friday, and I'm able to carve out a schedule that I want because I'm in the direct sales industry, but yet I'm still able to earn income, and I'm still able to help other women with their skin and with their goals of earning income.
So how many grandkids you have?
I have six.
Six. And they call you Mimi?
They call me Mimi.
That's awesome. That's a handful.
Yeah, they're
Six. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. My mom just moved here last year. She's been here a little over a year. So now she's finally close. I have one child. She's 14.
Oh, wow.
So no grandkids yet, right? But it's nice for my mom to be able to finally be around, But so with that flexibility, so I'm guessing you work from home? Is that
Absolutely,
your home
I
office?
do. But I am able to go and do like I'll do consultations, and I can go to the other person's home, and it can be just us, or they can invite friends over, and I can give them something as a hostess, kind of like the olden days when you had Tupperware parties and all that. I love doing that. I would prefer sitting down with somebody and letting them try the product. But however, if they want something, they can order online. They can order directly through me, but most people order online at this point. But I love the personal connection, and with what I have to offer, they really need to see what it feels like and what it looks like. And I'm able to offer them that. For my local people, my people that are not local, of course, I can mail samples. Or,
I was going to say, you must have a large amount of clients/customers virtually, right?
Right. I do. Yeah. I have consultants, I think, in 11 states. And I don't even know how many states I have customers. I'd have to look that one up.
Yeah.
But yes, they order directly from the company and it ships directly to them. But they have me as a resource. So it's always good to be able to pick up the phone and ask questions. And I try to give really good customer service. I answer the phone calls. I do the best I can do to, help somebody with something. And I'm very responsive. And I get to know my customers because it's something that they're going to continue to purchase because it's a consumable product.
And it's a relationship.
Absolutely.
They know when they reach out to Michael Ann, they're getting Michael Ann. They're not going to get some board op phone operator. And I've learned over the last several months after getting local myself, the power of really being able to shake a hand and try to build relationships for business purposes in person.
Right.
It's so much more powerful. All my other, I'm in the world of virtuality too. I have clients all over the place and it's great, but it must be nice to be able to bring product to someone, right?
Right. And that's how I did it, with my former company. I carried the inventory. So I did a lot of deliveries. Matter of fact, it seems like every time we were in the car going somewhere, we'd have to drop products off. And sometimes the kids would complain, we got to drop off products. And so I just finally explained it to them. I said, well, that vacation we go on, that birthday gift I bought you, where do you think this money comes from? So when we have to stop and drop off product, you should say, oh, yay, we get to drop off product. And I do miss that, having that personal interaction. But at the same time, not doing that does free up my time so that I do have more time for, other things like being a Mimi. So it's
being a Mimi.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm sure you're always a mom, right? No matter how old your kids are.
Absolutely. My youngest is a senior and about to graduate, and my older two are married. Then I have a stepson, and he and his wife are in Little Rock.
So throughout, were you band mom, choir mom, football mom?
Yes.
All of that?
Yes.
Nice. You were busy.
And one thing about Hernando versus some of the newer schools that were built is we're in different buildings. So, for example, you've got like DeSoto Central Lewisburg. They have K through 5 in one building, so there's one PTA for that school. But in Hernando, you have to have a PTA for Hernando Elementary, a PTA for Hernando Hills. So every 2 grades, there's a separate PTA. So I think I served as president, vice president. I think I did treasurer once. I'm like, I'm not a numbers person. So, I declined to do that one again. But I served as PTA offices all through all the schools. And
so
then,
you got really involved.
Yes.
I mean, it's much like being on a chamber with, I would gather when you're on a PTA, you have decision power, right? Is that part of it?
Yeah. We would get to decide. We would do, the principal would usually tell us at the beginning of the year, this is what I'd like to accomplish, and this is what I'd like to do. And then we would figure out a way to do those things. But we would do teacher appreciation. We would do fundraisers. We would come in and help with honor roll breakfast and, find volunteers to come and do things. And, so we just kind of did whatever the principal needed us to do and just had a really good relationship with the principal.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3 children.
So there must have been a moment where they were all in that sweet spot of an age where you had to be in 3 different committees at once, right?
Yes. There was one year where they all 3 played baseball. That was really hard.
But then you were on 3 different PTAs, maybe?
I was never on 3. I was on 2 several times, but I was never on 3 at one time. I did not do that to myself.
2 is enough.
2 is enough, yes.
And then all the sports.
Yes.
A lot of football. Was that the main sport in your family?
My oldest and my youngest did band. I absolutely loved being a band mom. You don't get to do as much as a football mom because the school kind of takes care of all of their expenses. So you don't do as many fundraisers, and whatnot. And also football, they play on Friday night. But with band, you would go out of town for competitions. And so there was so much more opportunity to serve and to help as a band mom versus as a football mom. I think as a football mom, we'd work the concession stand a couple times and then, of course, show up at games and cheer. But definitely there's a lot more involvement on the band side. And my middle son did football.
I'm a choir dad.
Yeah.
Hernando Singer's dad. I love it. And yeah, it's great to have
some talented kids. I tell you what, they blow me away.
It's amazing. And she's in Choir Rio. So I see the blend of all the schools. And so she's double active in it. She loves it. It's her therapy. And I love watching and listening. And then, I would say 2 to maybe 3 times in a school season, we go to Oxford. We get to do these really cool choir festivals at the Ford Theater right in Oxford. Beautiful. Right. It's really cool. And the kids are loving it.
So many opportunities.
Such a neat opportunity for them.
It really is.
And then there was one we did where the Ole Miss choir group came out and destroyed the place with this upbeat, sort of like gospel-esque type feel. And sure enough, my daughter and all their friends, we want to go here. So that's how they get you. Well, sorry, hon, maybe we need to talk about Ole Miss.
Right.
That might be something we need to talk about. Not quite sure,
My middle son did choir in middle school, and they got to do some cool stuff like that, too. I'm like, these are middle school kids? I mean, they just sound phenomenal.
It's amazing. If they could make me sing, then they are wizards. They must be, but so let's talk about the chamber if you don't mind.
No, not at all.
So now I understand all of that. All the experience in PTAs and stuff somehow made it so you're. I don't want to say the word eligible because clearly this guy you're sitting across from, I would have never thought I was eligible for it. But does it tie into that?
It does, and I think whenever I was originally asked, Jesse DeMint was the. Executive director.
What year was this?
5 years ago, maybe. Okay. I ended up finishing out someone else's term, and then I was elected to my own term. But they like to try to get people from different walks of life. So, you don't want to have a chamber board that has 6 bankers on it. And because I do direct sales, and that was something a little different, and I don't have a storefront to represent, I give a little bit of a different perspective because most of where I get my business is just through one-on-one and face-to-face marketing. I don't really do advertising. I don't have a store. So they kind of looked at me, I think, as a unique perspective, somebody that would not see things the way your traditional brick and mortar would. So I think at least, and they knew I was involved. I came to things and that I would actually show up and participate. That probably worked in my favor as well.
I'm sure that's a big part of it. Yeah. You guys not going to bring someone in that's going to be dead weight.
We're definitely a working board. It's more than just showing up at the luncheons. And we try to make sure when we invite people in that they know that it's not just a commitment of, coming to luncheons. You just want to, actually show up, be on a committee, help, plan.
Yeah. Well, look, Michael Ann, I'm 2 board meetings in. I have all the answers. Just whenever you're ready to hear them, I have them all.
Okay, then. Well, we did have quite a long one in January with the retreat, so that was longer than the average.
Yeah, that was interesting, though. The whole thing is fascinating to me. Like, we just, as we're recording this, 2 days ago had the second board meeting of the year, but the first, I would guess, the traditional one where we're
at ACs. The retreat, right.
And I'm just a fly on the wall, just trying to keep my eyes and ears open and speak when I feel like I have something to offer. But really, I'm just sitting back and listening to the details. It's really interesting. It's really fun. But I would guess I'm definitely a unique situation too. Podcast producer, you know. Like you said, show up. And that's what I've loved about being a member is it just kind of brings you into a club, and if you show up and network, it does a lot for you. It really does. So you've been secretary the whole time, or
no? I think this is my second term as secretary, but so that just the 2 years for the secretary.
And before that, you were just a
regular
old board director,
board of directors member.
So you have 6 years total in the term?
They're 3-year terms, and you can serve 2 3-year terms in a row.
And then you have to take a year off.
Right. And then if you'd like to come back, you can.
Gustafson Properties. Gustafson Properties has been building beautiful custom homes in DeSoto County and surrounding areas for over 20 years. Are you ready to build your new custom home? Call us today at 662-449-6271.
So where do you see yourself going as far as your career is concerned? Are you going to continue to just sell away and something that you want to do to retirement, or?
I don't see myself ever retiring from this because it's I love sharing the products with people because it is so different and it is so unique. And again, once somebody starts to use the product, they continue to order. And then you just basically maintain, let people know when something's new, once you've got them using the products. But it really, the products are amazing and they are different than anything else out there.
Well, let's talk about that just a little bit. Let's go back to the script that I almost couldn't read earlier. So it's prebiotic and probiotic, microbiome friendly, non-toxic formulations. So please translate that for me.
Well, people are pretty familiar with gut health and,
Right.
probiotics, prebiotics for your gut. Well, your skin is the largest organ of your body, and you have good bacteria, bad bacteria, vitamins, electrolytes. Your microbiome is actually formed at birth, and it's just made up of all the stuff on your skin. And the thing that's different is, most products out there, like cleansing products, take everything away. So they end up taking the good with the bad. So if you have someone that's trying to fight a skin condition like eczema or acne, they need that good, healthy bacteria there. But it gets taken away and the natural gets replaced with synthetic. So TruAura, when we say it's microbiome friendly, we leave all the good stuff, all that good natural bacteria, and the bad stuff is taken away. So it just removes the impurities. It does not strip. So it leaves all of the stuff that's on your skin there already to correct and to heal is left in place. And it's pretty frightening, but there's a statistic that your body is made up of about 57% bacteria and only 43% human cells. So we're more bacteria than anything. So bacteria is not the enemy. We actually want to use that good bacteria that's there. And then because you're leaving that good bacteria in place, the probiotics are like food for the healthy bacteria, and the prebiotics are like food for the probiotics. So it's like
feeding each other.
It's like health food for your skin. And as far as the non-toxic aspect of it goes, we say we're a clean company, and you have to listen to labels because some people will say chemical-free. Well, not really, because even water has a chemical compound. Or they'll say all natural. Well, unless you're going to keep it in the refrigerator, it's not all natural. It has to have
some kind of preservative.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we say clean. And what that means, it's really eye-opening because the European Union bans about 1,600 ingredients in their cosmetics that it's illegal to use them. The United States bans 11.
Shocker. Right?
It is mind-blowing, the things that we can legally put in our products. And there's some states, like California is a little more advanced. They have some things that are illegal there. They're coming down the pipe. But to put that into perspective, TruAura has a no list that ingredients we do not use in our product, and it's about 6,800 ingredients. So we well exceed European standards 4 times over. So it's very clean. There's nothing known to cause any kind of skin issues, irritations, nothing harmful, because there are things in products that can cause endocrine disruptors. There's carcinogens. There's just things in products that are not good to put on your skin.
Yeah.
So it's like that trifecta. We're clean, and then we keep the microbiome in place, and then we add the probiotics to kind of put that in place. And we're the only direct sales company in America that offers that for cosmetics, skincare, and anti-aging. So there are clean companies out there, but they may not offer anti-aging. There are people that will add probiotics to their current formula, but it's really not doing anything because they've got ingredients in there that are kind of counteractive to it.
So let's talk to a potential customer that might be interested when they're hearing this. What's the best first step for them to take beside going to your website and contacting you? What does the process look like after that?
Well, I always recommend everybody start with a good maintenance program. A lot of times people want to buy, an anti-aging product to get rid of something, but you've got to take care of your skin. That's step number one. If you don't do anything else, I say start with a good, cleanser, toner, day lotion, night cream. And we do have a money-back guarantee on our products, and it's very rare unless somebody just happens to be allergic to something. Like, for example, we have cucumber. Well, there's people that are allergic to cucumber, but there's nothing in there that's going to cause harm unless you have some kind of an allergy or something to it. But they can definitely, there's information on the website. There's blog on the website. Our no list is listed on there. You can even contact me, and I can even, give you a heads up on anything, any questions you might want answered. So I'm always available with a phone call, a face-to-face meeting.
Because you must give some kind of consultation, do you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, I prefer to sit down with people and meet one-to-one and hear about their skin or, whatever, and then let them try it and answer questions. But I also can do a group setting. I can do a presentation to a group. I can do it however. And if somebody's not local, I can certainly talk with them on the phone. I do have customers all across the United States.
You on Zoom?
I can do Zoom. It's not my favorite thing, but I will. I mean, it's better than nothing. I think we all got Zoom fatigue during COVID.
Well, Zoom, that business grew exponentially.
I'm sure.
And then I'm like, what happened, Skype? Where'd you go?
I know, right?
You guys were the first. What did
Right.
you? How did you mess this one up?
Well, and I was already on Zoom before COVID.
Me too.
Absolutely, with especially with my team being everywhere, and especially if somebody's not local, absolutely, I'll meet with them on Zoom. But if they're local, I'd really prefer to meet face to face.
Yeah, I love the local aspect now. I enjoy it so much now.
Yeah.
Instead of being on Zoom all day.
And there's so many people in Hernando that I really don't even have to go very far to meet new potential customers because it is a brand new company. It was opened in 2018. So we actually, February 19th, I believe, is our opening day. So our 5-year anniversary is in just a couple days.
A couple days as we record this.
Absolutely.
That's great.
And so it's still a brand new company that most people have not heard of. And I'm just trying to get the word out there. And I would love for TruAura to become a household name because we're so different. And we're on the cutting edge right now. There are other companies that are popping up and other products that are kind of mimicking what we're already doing. So, 5 years down the line, this is going to be a commonplace thing. What I'm telling you about now. We're the first. We have great stuff.
Groundbreaking.
I know. And I just want to get the word out there as best as possible.
Well, luckily I have 1 million downloads a week with this podcast. So
great.
You're going to get some serious reach. No, that's awesome. So, and this just hit me. I remember seeing not too long ago a post with you being an extra.
Yes.
On a TV set for The Young Rock?
Yes.
What's going on there? What's going on with that?
That's my other job. I'm a movie star.
So it looked, the vibe I got from that is this is something that you do.
Yeah, well.
This wasn't just a one-off deal.
When the opportunity comes up, I do.
So let's hear about it. Yeah.
So, and that kind of goes back to having that flexible schedule because, if I'm sitting there in holding, I can be on my phone posting stuff or contacting people.
Okay,
or
on holding.
And in holding.
So is that when you're hanging out in your trailer and reading your lines?
Well, I don't get my own trailer yet. But yes, if you're in holding, you're waiting to go on set. When you go on set, you can't take your phone with you.
Okay.
So, it was kind of interesting how it even came about. And it was just kind of one of those things I fell into. And it's really a lot of fun. I do recommend it. Everybody should be an extra at least one time because you see how television is made and you never watch television the same way again. But at the time, my older two boys were actually in boot camp at the same time. One went between 11th and 12th grade, and then one went, he was Air Force, so he had to wait for a spot to go to boot camp. And my youngest, I was just looking for something for him to do, and they were filming one of the Christmas in Graceland movies at the time. So I said, well, would you want to maybe be an extra? And I didn't really know how it worked, so I went online and I filled out profiles, not realizing you also have to tell them, hey, I'm available. So we filled out profiles and just waited to be called. Well, are you familiar with Bluff City Law? They filmed a season of that in Memphis.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, there was a episode number 2 where they needed a stand-in for the lady farmer. And a stand-in is when you're basically taking the place of the actor while they're getting the camera shot set up. So they pick somebody that has similar,
height and size,
hair color, skin color, and they'll put the color shirt on you that they're going to wear. And you basically sit in that seat while they set up the shot. Then when they get ready to film, you step out and they bring the actress
that way
in.
the actor and actress doesn't have to wait all day. As much.
Right. And they can be practicing their lines or whatever.
Yeah.
And because I fit the build of the actress in episode 2 of that show, I got called. And so that was kind of how I got into it. And I realized I could apply to be an extra. So I was actually in 8 episodes of Bluff City Law. And then whenever Young Rock season 3, we saw it was going to film here, I just started applying. And, they sometimes they look for specific people for like a, restaurant scene or, whatever. I think my most prominent scene in Young Rock is the episode with Andre the Giant, episode 10. And I'm in France in the 1960s. And so we're basically just reacting to how tall Andre the Giant is. So that was a fun one to shoot. I'm in the wrestling audience several times. I think the one that airs tonight, I'm in the audience a couple times in that. But it's fun. I mean, you can apply. You can tell them, hey, I'm available this day, and they pick you yes or no, and then you just work that one day. So it's
probably a full day, though, right? A long day.
It usually is. They usually keep you 12 hours. There's been a few times where we got done early, and there's been a few times where we stayed late. But yeah, you have to commit to stay the whole day, because if they have to go back and reshoot something,
they need you.
Otherwise they'd have a continuity error.
Is there some kind of union scale that y'all make?
No, this is not.
It's all volunteer?
Not SAG-AFTRA. That's not me. It's not volunteer. We do get paid, but we're not union or anything like that. We're just, I guess, like hiring somebody for the day. But.
So, you don't get any residuals from anything?
Oh, no. That's only if you're in a union.
And you have a speaking part, probably,
right? I think if you have a speaking part.
Yeah, I've
never had a speaking part.
Was Dwayne Johnson around?
I have not filmed anything with Dwayne, because the way the Young Rock, if you watch it, it's him telling the stories. The only time Dwayne Johnson is actually in the scene is in the future, like 32
Which is
or
probably
whatever.
Hollywood, right?
And I think they did film some of those here, like Belgium. If you've watched the show, all the places in Belgium are actually in Memphis. Okay. So he was in Memphis for part of that. But when he's going back to when he was 10 or when he was a teenager, when he was in his early 20s, those are the scenes that I've been in. So it wasn't actually him. It was the actor that was playing him at that age. So
are these actors approachable, or do you kind of just hang back?
Well, and they're very nice. Everybody's very kind, especially Joseph Lee Anderson. He's very friendly. He's the one that plays Rocky Johnson, that plays the dad.
The dad, okay.
And but you're not supposed to talk to the actors unless they speak to you first. And it's not really a class thing like we think we're better. They're working. They're trying to go through lines. They're trying to stay in character. And it's just a distraction to them if you speak to them. But if they speak to you first, you absolutely can have interaction with them.
You hear about people like Robert De Niro. I don't know if this is true, but you hear these stories about these high-level actors have things where, you're not allowed to make eye contact.
Oh, now we've never been told that.
Which is extreme, but I think that might be a little exaggerated too, and it might be the same thing. It's just like, guys, don't bother Robert De Niro.
It's a courtesy thing.
He's trying to get another Oscar performance over here.
Absolutely. It's more of a courtesy thing. But I tell you, I did have a conversation with Jimmy Smits one time, kind of by accident, because it was the episode where I was being a stand-in, and he was actually the attorney for this farmer, and he was trying to help her to keep her job. So I was actually sitting in the courtroom in the witness chair, and he was off to the side, and they were setting up the scene, and he was, what I didn't know, he was practicing his lines, but I thought he was talking to me. And I was saying, what? I can't hear you. He said, so he kind of laughed and said, no, I'm just practicing my lines. Like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to let him talk at me, but I'm not going to look at him because I'm going to distract him because I think he's talking to me, but he's not talking to me.
It's such an awkward moment.
Yeah, right? So that was my conversation with Jimmy Smits.
Now, the stand-in, it's called a sit-in? Stand-in.
I've only done that a couple of times.
No, I know they used you for plotting or to get the camera shot and the lighting and everything. Yes. But is there a position where someone like yourself would actually be in the scene, but it's just the back of your shoulder because the camera's going over and then the actual,
like a body double or whatever?
Well, just a stand-in. So let's say you're across from Dwayne Johnson in a scene, instead of the actual actress sitting for his scenes, you're the one sitting there. Just so he has someone to talk to. Does that make sense?
My experience. In my experience, they just film it from multiple angles. They'll film the same scene, like behind your shoulder, and then we'll do it again, and then they'll film it from behind my shoulder. I'm not saying that's not ever done. It's just the experience I have. That's not how they did it. Once they got ready to film, we would step aside. However, they would often use us in other scenes as extras, even if we were there as a stand-in.
Okay, because you hear actors talk about the really good ones, the ones that really cooperate, are good off camera. So let's say the scene is just me, but I need someone to play off of, and you're off camera.
Right.
Nothing is on you, but you're still acting for me, so we can act together, or have someone, because you hear some actors say sometimes they're acting to a tennis ball hanging from the ceiling.
Oh, wow.
Because they need a
something to focus on.
Something to focus on.
That makes sense.
So I wonder if there's opportunity like that.
It's just a fun hobby. I don't really think I'm going to get a big break and turn into a movie star or whatever, but it's just really neat to see how it works and to kind of learn the ropes. So I'm really hoping they come back and have a season 4 and they film that in Memphis as well. That would be really nice.
It's doing well. It seems like a successful show.
It's a really good show. Yeah, it's really good.
I'm like an old school wrestling fan too, so I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah, you have to watch it all the way back from season 1 for it to make the most amount of sense. But there's people in there that I grew up watching wrestle, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's so cool. I remember Randy Macho Man Savage.
Yeah.
And, anyway, lots of recognizable faces in there.
And I'm sure names and storylines in there must be interesting. So, well, look, Michael Ann, I appreciate your time. Is there anything that we missed as far as what you would like to talk about with your business? And I want to make sure we highlight everything we can for you.
Yeah, well, I just would love the opportunity to share what I have, and if it's not for people, great, but it's very well priced. It's not super expensive, and when you look at what you're getting for it, you really can't beat it.
And what's the website again?
It's michaelanndillinger.com. Or you can go to TruAuraBeauty.com/Michael Ann.
Oh,
but if you just put my name in, it will redirect to the TruAura website.
Okay.
I have a domain.
So you have an actual website URL with your name.
Yes, that
Michael
goes
Ann
to
Dillinger.
me in particular. But I also have a Facebook group. I can send people the link for that if they're interested in being on that. And that's where I do a lot of my communicating with what's new, tips on this. I do drawings. I do a lot of stuff on my Facebook page.
I'll have your links in the description.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate
for all
it.
the descriptions and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm a person that wears many hats, and I love the flexibility of what I do, so that I can kind of do all of these other things that I have interest in.
Cool. Well, this is awesome. It's cool to get to know you better. We'll be working together more.
Yes,
this
absolutely.
year, so it'll be fun. But before we say goodbye, Michael Ann, we're going to challenge the audience here. We're going to give them some homework. We're going to tell them the 5 ways they can grow this channel and this podcast by how they can share. Down with that?
That sounds great.
So first step is go to our website, therealhernando.com, and that's where you can find everything. The links to all of our social channels, all the audio presentations, and you can subscribe to the website. All it is your email, and you will get an email when a new episode publishes. The next step, while you're in there, click on it, open up Michael Ann's episode, grab the URL, and share away. Send it to your family member, someone that you might feel like needs some skincare. Email them this link and share this episode. That helps me, the show, Michael, the community. It's a full circle deal. While you're in there, go check out our YouTube channel. If you like to watch podcasts, it's the best place to do it. If nothing else, go subscribe to the channel. That's helpful too. And then, of course, we are on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. All are at The Real Hernando. And you know how social media works. Share those posts, tag people, comment, engage. That makes the world spin for us. So, and again, on audio platforms, we're everywhere, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Audible, anywhere, any major platform, we are there. So hopefully all of that gets you some reach there, Michael Ann.
I appreciate it. And I don't even know if I told you we also have makeup. I think I just spent the time. Okay, good. I couldn't remember. I knew we talked about skincare, and I thought, did I even say we also have makeup as well? And it's all the same clean, healthy, microbiome friendly.
Well, go to michaelanndillinger.com and you'll find everything.
That's right. That's right.
Well, awesome. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it.